The 1989 Kennedy half dollar is a coin that has intrigued collectors for decades. While it may seem like just another piece of pocket change, certain factors can make this coin highly valuable, sometimes even reaching prices you wouldn't expect. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the 1989 half dollar, from its design and history to its market value and what makes certain versions of it worth a small fortune. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Designed as a tribute to the fallen leader, the coin was met with an outpouring of public interest. In its early years, the half dollar contained 90% silver, but by 1971, the U.S. Mint had switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1989 half dollar follows this composition, meaning it consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with an overall weight of 11.34 grams and a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. Like all Kennedy half dollars, the 1989 edition features a left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Above his head is the word Liberty, while In God We Trust is split on either side of his neck. The year 1989 appears at the bottom. The reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the presidential seal, an eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. Surrounding the eagle are 50 stars, representing the United States. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollar frame the design. The 1989 Kennedy half dollar was minted at two primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint do not have a mint mark, while those from Denver bear a small D on the obverse side, just below Kennedy's neckline. Additionally, proof versions of this coin were minted in San Francisco, marked with an S. Proof coins were struck with special dies on polished planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish that makes them highly desirable among collectors. When it comes to value, most 1989 Kennedy half dollars in circulated condition are only worth their face value of 50 cents. However, coins in uncirculated or high mint state, MS grades, can fetch higher prices. For example, an MS-65 or MS-66 graded coin might sell for anywhere between $10 and $50, depending on demand and quality. However, the real money comes into play when we talk about rare high-grade specimens. An MS-67 1989 Kennedy half dollar is much scarcer and can command prices of several $100s. The highest graded examples, MS-68 or higher, are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay significant premiums for them. Now, let's talk about the big numbers. Could a 1989 Kennedy half dollar be worth $5,000? The short answer is yes, but under very specific circumstances. The most valuable coins are typically those with mint errors or exceptionally high grades. For example, an error coin, such as a double die strike or an off-center strike, can significantly increase a coin's value. A major error combined with an MS-67 or MS-68 grade could push the price into the thousands. There have been instances where rare mint errors on Kennedy half dollars have sold for several $1,000s at auction. A dramatic misstrike or a wrong planchet error, where the coin is accidentally struck on a different metal, can skyrocket the price. If you happen to find a 1989 half dollar with an unusual feature, it may be worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Another factor that affects value is demand. If a particular year or variety of a coin becomes popular among collectors, prices can rise significantly. For example, if an extremely limited number of high-grade 1989 Kennedy half dollars exist, competition among collectors could drive prices well above standard catalog values. For those looking to buy or sell a 1989 half dollar, it's crucial to consider grading and authentication. Coins that are professionally graded and slabbed by a reputable service are more likely to attract serious buyers. If you believe you have a rare or high-grade example, getting it graded is the best way to confirm its authenticity and maximize its potential value. While most 1989 Kennedy half dollars won't make you rich, the rarest and highest quality specimens can be worth thousands. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, understanding what makes certain coins valuable can help you make informed decisions when buying, selling, or holding onto your half dollars. One of the biggest reasons the 1989 Kennedy half dollar remains popular is its historical significance. Even though this particular year isn't considered rare, the Kennedy half dollar series as a whole carries strong sentimental and historical value. Many collectors, especially those who focus on American history, seek out these coins not just for their monetary worth but also for their connection to President Kennedy's legacy. Because of this, the demand for Kennedy half dollars, especially in pristine condition, remains steady, ensuring that certain high-grade or rare versions of the coin will always be valuable. Another important factor that can affect the value of the 1989 half dollar is its condition. When grading coins, Collectors look at several key features, such as luster, strike quality, and the presence of contact marks or scratches. A coin that has been in circulation will typically show wear, reducing its value. However, an uncirculated coin, one that has never been used in transactions, retains its original mint luster and can fetch much higher prices. Coins graded MS65 or higher are often placed in protective holders to preserve their condition and prevent any further damage. Proof versions of the 1989 Kennedy half dollar are also a special category. These coins were not meant for general circulation but were struck specifically for collectors. Proof coins from this year were produced at the San Francisco Mint and are easily recognizable due to their sharp details and mirrored background. Unlike standard business strike coins, proofs are struck multiple times with specially polished dies, resulting in a flawless, high-contrast finish. Because of their superior quality, proof coins, especially those graded PR69 or PR70, tend to be more valuable than regular circulation coins. Another aspect that adds value to certain 1989 half dollars is the presence of full bell lines, FBL, on the reverse design. Although FBL designation is typically associated with Franklin half dollars rather than Kennedy half dollars, collectors sometimes apply similar principles to Kennedy halves, looking for fully struck and sharply detailed coins. A well-struck 1989 Kennedy half dollar with crisp, detailed features can be more desirable than a weakly struck counterpart, increasing its potential worth. One of the biggest misconceptions about the 1989 Kennedy half dollar is that all of them are common and worth only their face value. While it is true that most examples from this year are not particularly rare, there are always exceptions. Coins with unusual errors, exceptional grades, or historical significance can fetch premium prices. For example, a collector might be willing to pay thousands of dollars for an MS68 example because so few exist in that condition. Similarly, an error coin, such as a double die or an off-metal strike, can dramatically increase a coin's market price. Among the most desirable mint errors found on Kennedy half dollars are off-center strikes. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned with the dies during minting, causing part of the design to be missing. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. If a 1989 Kennedy half dollar were struck 50% off-center while still showing the full date, it could easily be worth several hundred or even thousands of dollars to the right collector. Another rare error to look out for is a wrong planchet strike. This happens when a coin is mistakenly struck on a blank intended for a different denomination. While no widely known cases of 1989 Kennedy half dollars being struck on the wrong metal exist, errors like this have been found on other years. If a 1989 half dollar were accidentally struck on a silver planchet instead of the usual copper nickel clad, it would be an extraordinary find and could be worth thousands. The market for Kennedy half dollars has remained strong over the years, with collectors always on the lookout for high-grade specimens and rare varieties. Auction houses and online marketplaces such as eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections frequently list Kennedy half dollars, sometimes selling them for prices far above standard catalog values. When bidding on these coins, collectors consider not just the grade but also factors like eye appeal, rarity, and historical significance. If you're searching for a valuable 1989 Kennedy half dollar, the best places to look are coin shops, estate sales, and online auctions. Occasionally, collectors can even find uncirculated rolls of half dollars that have been sitting untouched for decades. These rolls can contain hidden gems, high-grade coins that could be worth much more than their face value. Searching through these rolls, known as coin roll hunting, has become a popular hobby among numismatists hoping to discover rare and valuable coins. To determine whether a 1989 Kennedy half dollar is worth more than face value, it's crucial to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. Companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, specialize in grading coins, providing them with a certified grade and sealing them in protective holders. A graded and certified MS67 or MS68 1989 Kennedy half dollar is far more valuable than an uncertified one, as buyers have confidence in its authenticity and quality.